Hey, welcome. All right, so I am here. It's been a while. Thank you guys for coming. Oh my God, if you ever know, funny story. I just got in not so long ago, and a WhatsApp message came in on my phone asking me if I'm going live. So I'm like, I just got in. I don't think I'll be able to go live. And then I'm like, hold on, today's the 4x1. I'm going live. I'm going live. I don't care. So even though I'm tired, I'm here and I'm going live and I'm excited. A lot of things happened throughout the week and I've had time. Hi, Carrie. Um, I've been working and just working and plus working on the back end because there was a lot to clean up on the channel. So I had to be going in and deleting a lot of videos and also blurring a lot of content within the videos. I just blurred anything that was video. It didn't matter. So right now, if you go back to some of our videos, you're gonna look and you're gonna see a lot of blurred out stuff. I mean, you can still hear audio, but a lot of the video snippets that were used in the videos no longer exist because I blurred them out. Because honestly, I don't know what the problem is, but listen, we're just gonna get rid of everything and let's see if it can make things better with YouTube and things will work for us, right? So that's what I've been working on the back end, plus obviously work. So that's why I've not been here, but I have kept track of everything. I've had a few disappointments, but I've had time to sit and let it mellow. And it's okay. I'm fine with the results. You're not always gonna win. You're not always gonna get a medal. Things go bad from time to time in championships for a team. So with all of that being said, I'm really happy and I'm really excited with what the Jamaicans have been doing thus far, and I'm very proud to call myself a Jamaican. They make me feel proud to ooze black, green, and gold. BLOD, sorry, BLOOD. Since you can't say that word on YouTube, but they make me proud to ooze that. Anyway, let's see what's going on. Hey, Shamoya. Oh, hi, Shamoya. What's up? Welcome. Thank you so very much, Yanni Mac, for getting here. All right. So again, as I said, a lot of things have been happening, and I've definitely I haven't missed anything. The only thing I missed today, unfortunately, was the men 4x4, but I did see the results. So I know what happened, and I know we have men to come in, and I checked the time in which we qualified, and I'm like, if you add two, that looks like a solid medal. So I'm very hopeful there. I didn't have a medal for them before, but looking at it now, I'm like, may that look like it did it. May that look like it can't reach. So let's see. And then no, so let's just backtrack a little bit because all right, let me just give you an update. So the women's 4x1 comes up at 9:30, and then the men come up at 9:50. So right now I think they're doing the decathlon, and then I think they probably have another distance race coming up shortly. So right now I'm just gonna talk about a few things that has happened. The first thing I want to talk about is Sydney. I mean, when I watched her race and she passed Dalila, I was like, oh my God. But you see, when she took that final curve on coming onto the home stretch into the final 100, all I could say was wow. Just simply wow. The girl is amazing. Running 50.6 in a 400-meter hurdles race, unheard of. If she continues in the hurdles, she's gonna probably go down in history as she's gonna be greater than Allison in terms of medal count because she's been around for a while. I think she started in her teens, representing the United States in her teens. So what is up now? Okay, yeah, they're still doing some decathlon events. So we're not really missing anything from a Jamaican standpoint. Yeah, so I mean, just think about it, guys. 50.6 in a flat in a 400-meter hurdles race, ridiculous. And then I hear things about her going over to the 400-meter possibly. But I think any event she decides to go in, she's just gonna dominate because again, they're once in a generation athletes in certain events, and she is one of them. That's like how we had our stint with Usain Bolt, and everybody in that race, their mindset was, okay, we're running for silver. You heard from the athletes themselves when they said we're running for silver. I feel like in a race with Sydney, while she's going to be pulling a lot of people to up their game and, perform at levels that they've never performed at before, I still believe strongly that everybody else is going to be running for silver because she's just that amazing. So all I could say at the end of that race was just wow. There were no words, just wow. She was absolutely fantastic. What else happened? Okay, women's 200 meters. Obviously, you all know I'm a Manchester girl, so I'm always going to be repping Elaine very, very hard, hoping that she could bring home a medal. Obviously, Shelly was in it. Obviously, Sharika was in it. Before the race started, I had Sharika to win, and I was looking at where Elaine finished in her heat, and I thought to myself, in her semi, that is, I thought to myself, okay, she looks like she can get that bronze because she looked like she had a bit more left in the tank. And I was like, okay, she looks like she can get a bronze. Even though she was picked at the line, I thought it looks like she can get a bronze. Shelly and Sharika were clear ahead in terms of gold for Sharika and silver for Shelly. But I thought that Elaine had that, extra little oomph to give something more for that bronze. But you see, when I saw her got up, out of that blocks, and I saw her first 50, I was like, okay, that's it. I don't even think it's first 50, maybe first 20. I saw her first 20, I said, okay, she's not gonna medal, and that's pretty much what happened. But I was thinking back to her interview the 2 days prior to that, when she was after the rounds of the 200, the semifinal of the 200. She said she was tired and she didn't get to recover properly, so she was hoping that the day rest would give her enough time to recover. So, and I just don't think she had enough time to recover. Everybody recovers differently. Plus, I also think that she just wasn't fit enough. She said she wasn't at her best, and I don't think it's just necessarily at her best, but I just think she wasn't fit enough to say handle the 3 rounds, because you saw Shelly coming out, Sharika coming out. They were definitely fit to handle the 3 rounds. So even with the heat and everything, they were able to recover properly. So I'm just thinking, okay, she wasn't fit enough to handle the rounds, and it pretty much showed in the finals. But as I said, I'm not disappointed because I know, even though you want her to medal and everything like that, but come on, think about it. There are 8 ladies in that race. Eight people want to win, and there are only 3 medals. So the mere fact that she didn't come up with a medal this time around, I'm definitely not going to crucify her. And then when I looked at the results as it relates to other Olympic champions coming over into this new year, a lot of these Olympic champions either didn't medal, or finished, maybe third, second in their events that they won an Olympic medal for, an Olympic gold for the year before. So it's really hard to be on that high and then get back on that high for the next year, because I'm thinking your body's drained, you're drained mentally and physically, and it's going to take a while to get back up, to get back to that point. So yeah, I'm not really disappointed. I'm really happy though. Sharika, second fastest ever at 21:45, looking like she definitely could go up much faster, as they did say. If she gets that one Diamond League race where the conditions are perfect, who knows? The world record looks like it's gonna go. So I'm really excited and I'm happy about that. Shelly finally looks like she is part of the 200-meter game. And don't get me wrong, I know Shelly already had a gold medal over the 200, but when it came to the sub 22 territory, she was never really a solid sub 22 person. So seeing her come last year to run sub 22, and then this year doing it back to back, she did it at the in the semifinal, and she's coming into the final again and running it. That tells you that she's a solid 200-meter runner, even though she says she hates it and she probably won't run it anymore. I'm like, Shelly, go and hold on a little bit longer, cause you can't do it. So yeah, she looks like she can run till she's 45. Me don't know, but she look really, really good. So yeah, I'm really happy about what happened with the females. They always represent, and obviously Elena gonna need no support. So just support her. I see a lot of negative talk and negative banter about this, that, and everything else under the sun. I'll do a separate video on that, breaking down my thoughts and opinions on it. But for now, you definitely have to give our athletes support. Let me see what's going on in the comments. Y'all are talking to yourselves in the comments and not talking to me. I think Sherika was in that kind. Matt Chapter, why are you talking? Why are you talking in the chat and not on the live stream? Let me ask you that. Elaine's training was not where it was supposed to be. I heard Bruce, or was it not Bruce? I heard Hubert say something along the lines of when you switch coaches, it takes a while for you to get used to that new training program as well. So maybe that was also a factor. I'm not sure because in the back of my mind, they'll be using Steve Francis's blueprint to train Elaine because she did say last year that she's been doing this for years and she knows what to do. So in the back of my mind is this isn't a different coaching strategy because they'll be using what Steven used to train Elaine. So I'm not really sure if that is what happened, but that's something I heard as well. No, she just wasn't ready. Like when you saw, it's not like she came off the bend with Shelly and Sharika and then she faded. Her start, if you know Elaine and that 200 meters, when she's in a championship final, she's going to burn the bend. And the mere fact that she didn't burn the bend, it tells you that she was just either not recovered properly based on the conditions, or she just wasn't fully fit enough to run her best, which she did say she's not at her best. But I'm just saying, I don't think it has anything to do with mentally because where I saw her nervous was the 100 meters because that's the first one up and that can pretty much make or break your championship if you medal or you don't medal. So the mere fact that she medaled and she got a bronze, to me, that will give her a lift into the 200 to let her know, okay, yeah, I can do it. I got a medal here. I'm not at my best, so that means I can definitely turn up in the 200 and get a medal too. So I don't think it had anything to do with anything mental, but let's see. Yeah, she'll definitely be back. Yes, Shamoya, she definitely needs to heal and come back stronger. We're with her 100%. She does the 400 in background training, and I remember her first race of the outdoor season was a 400 meters. And after the race, she said in an interview that she was actually hoping to get a personal best in that 400-meter race. So you can't hope for a 400-meter personal best if you're not doing the work in background training. So I'm assuming that everything was going well, and it just never materialized the way she wanted it to throughout the end of the season. Oh, you mean Shelly now run 200 again? I think this is a Shelly comment. I'm sorry. Elaine, yeah, Elaine will be back. Hey, Sports Circle 3345. Thank you for joining. Sharika put her foot down. Listen, Sharika now has talk. Before then couldn't fling her in the 4x4 and she don't just have to suffer through and say, all right, I'm going running. But now she has talk. She's a gold medalist. And you can't just fling her here, there, and everywhere just because you don't want to. It's not going to work. She said in her interview, I think after she collected her medals, she said she will be in the 4x1. If they want her in the heat, she feels like she's fit enough to run it, and then the final, but that is it. She specifically said, but that is it. So no 4x4 for her. And I don't think we need her based on what I saw in that 4x4. Let's touch on that 4x4 a little bit. Finally, the girls are running the 4x4 how I want them to run it. First and foremost, getting out in that first 50, not like you're a slouch. Run off, please, and thank you. And they did that in that first 50 to 100. I loved it. Plus, also, the major issue that I had on the first leg, on the second leg, when you do that first 100 and then you're supposed to break, right? I've always said, why is it that they're just cutting over just immediately like zoop? Why aren't they just going straight out and continuing along the line to, and that's what I saw her do. And I'm like, yes. And that the distance that she got just from doing that, I mean, I didn't expect the win to be so overwhelming, considering that we still have Stephanie, we still have Ranisha, what's her name her name is slipping me in the 400-meter finals. But yes, Candice McLeod. We still have Candice McLeod and maybe Genevieve Russell. So we still have a solid few that can come in. So that for me was a very commanding run, and I was pretty surprised. So it shows that finally we are putting the correct tactics in place for the 4x4, and I don't think we need a Sharika for us to medal. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I feel like we're gonna beat USA, so I mean, it don't make no sense to put you Sharika in it, because come on, them are gonna put Sydney. They're gonna put a thing more. They're gonna put a thing or a thing, and I hear her name is Mo, not Mo. So I think Mo or something like that. Yeah, I think Mo, and um maybe Dalila. I'm not sure. Dalila is not in the best shape of her life, so maybe she doesn't go. But it just goes to show you they can pull four people that don't even run the 400-meter flat. Because the 400-meter flat is not very strong right now, but their hurdles athletes are very good, and I don't think we can really challenge them over the 4x4. But I feel like we have a solid silver medal once we bring those girls in. I believe we have a solid silver medal. Yeah, I know the Netherlands will bring in Femke Ball. Poland has a few also to bring in, but still, I think we can definitely get a solid silver medal. Sorry, in that race. Hey Dennis. No, there will be no a thing. She is running the. Oh, it is the same day. That didn't even cross my mind. Very interesting. Let me just double check the schedule to see if there's enough time for her to recover for it. So all of this will be happening in the night. Okay, so this is 8. No, there's not enough time. It's an hour apart. Yeah, she's not running. So there's no, but there's definitely Sydney. Definitely Sydney is running, and they probably just use all the hurdles girls. How much hurdle? They had four. They had four hurdlers. They probably use all four of them. They did. I was on the road. I was on the road, so I don't know what happened that transpired in the race. I only got to catch the Jamaican race, so I don't know what happened in between with all of that. So that's surprising for me. But even more so, if they're disqualified, solidifies for me the silver medal in my mind for the athletes. And now that I think about it, now that Mo is out of it, we can probably challenge America for goal in it, because Sydney is just one leg. We can just try to cut off all of the other times off every other leg. Or am I dreaming too much? Maybe I'm dreaming a little bit too much, but I think we can maybe try to challenge them for gold. And remember, we won the 4x4 gold medal in 2015. I mean, that was with a very, very fit Sharika Jackson. If they put Sharika on it, I think they can challenge for that gold. Carrie, let me double check who actually made it. Because I right now I feel like I'm talking a bunch of nonsense, because in the back of my mind I just know the good countries. So to hear that is DQ'd or who didn't make it is very surprising. So let me just double check who actually made it out of this thing and who is in the finals. Okay, 4x4 result. Let me see. Summary women. Okay, let's jump up here. So we have Great Britain, okay, Belgium, Canada, Italy. Oh, wow. So we have Switzerland. Poland didn't make it. They were what, fifth? They came fifth. You see, and that's the issue, I think what they were trying to do is hold back some of their best athletes, and it may not have worked for them. They should have put in their top people, unfortunately. Wow. And then you said Netherlands got DQ'd. Yep, DQ'd. Big DQ there. So two of our major contenders, teams that can bring in more power, are out. So I definitely see no less than silver for us. And you never know, maybe we can challenge for that gold medal, because I don't think Great Britain has nobody to bring in. I don't think Great Britain has anybody to bring in. So that should be their solid team right there. So yeah, it's gonna be a really, really strong team for Jamaica. I think we can go for challenging them, but I know Sydney is gonna give them a really, really good leg. I don't know if she's gonna run the first leg. She ran the first leg last year. I don't know if they're gonna let her run the first leg again. I don't think she does as well on the first leg as other legs, but let's see. But if they put her on the first leg and she does how I think she can, then she's gonna give them a really, really good lead, and we're probably gonna be chasing them from the get-go. Yeah, Poland didn't make it. It seems, which is very very crazy to me. They're a really really good team. So I mean, it looks like they held back a few of their big guns, and it didn't work in their favor. That's the thing about the relays. Sometimes you take these risks and they don't pay out. Yeah, it is a stretch. No, I did say it is a stretch. I did say from the beginning that listen, America is done getting gold, but then who is it that told me that there is no eighthing more because of the Kerry? You're the one that said there's no eighthing more, right? So if there's no eighthing more, that means that there's one of their solid legs are out. And remember, America's 400-meter flat athletes are not as good this year as they were maybe in the previous years. So if we have Sydney, that's one solid. A yesteryear Dalila would have been fantastic, but this is a Dalila that is not at her best either. So we only have one solid leg so far and a sub for Dalila. Who are the other two? So do you get me when I say no that we can actually challenge them? We can definitely challenge them. All right, so let's talk about the other events. Still doing okay. Still decathlon on is now 9/11. Remember, at 9:30 is when the girls come on, and we're expecting go. Okay, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the women 4x4. I loved what I saw in the heats from the girls. Obviously, a few of them already had experience running on the 4x4, but it would have been Kemba's first time on the senior team. I don't think I've ever seen her at a yeah, I think this is her first time on the senior team, right? So I think it was a good run. But something rubbed me the wrong way in the conversation because I didn't go live, obviously, and we're all watching the TVJ stream once we're in Jamaica. So something rubbed me a little wrong with what was it Bruce? Bruce, yeah, Bruce said it first and then Hubert. So this is what Bruce said. Bruce said he would run Brianna to Shelly to Elaine to Sharika. His reason for putting Brianna in over Kemba, because Kemba obviously finished second at the trials, is because Brianna ran the better first leg. So I said to myself, then I want first leg and a Brianna no put panny. So how wanna know how Kemba did I go run pan the leg? Like to me, that didn't really make any sense because Kemba didn't get an opportunity to run that first leg. So there's no way you can match up times to say, okay, Kemba did this, Brianna did this, okay, Brianna is better, so we're going to Brianna. No, don't get me wrong. I'm not against that Brianna running it because Brianna obviously would have more experience. She did it last year. So I'm not against Brianna doing it. It just rubbed me the wrong way how he said it, because he said, "Oh, Kemba, Brianna's leg was better than Kemba's," and I'm like, "How do you know that Kemba not run the leg, right?" So I'm like, "All right, fine, whatever." And then jump over to Hubert. He says something along the lines of, he would keep Brianna because Brianna is tried and proven, and we do not know what Kemba has to offer on the first leg. That I can agree with. In a certain instance, okay, going with what you know versus what you don't know, right? But I didn't like the way Bruce said it, but I appreciate the way Hubert said it. However, it's still kind of iffy in my mind because I'm like, even when you finish top 4 at the trials, you may not get a final berth. We see it happen in the USA. They do it all the while. Not because you finish in top 3, top 4 at your trials means you're going to be on the relay. They may pull people from the 200, the 400-meter hurdles, like you heard me talking about before. It doesn't guarantee you anything, but I don't know if it's something you want to put in a Jamaican's mind when they think they're going to be a part of the team, and then they're told, "Oops, no, you're not going to be a part of the team." That kind of thing. So I don't know. Especially when you finish second, I think that's a hard pill to swallow. But with that said, I agree with Bruce's makeup of the team in terms of, or not makeup, but who runs what leg. I agree with Brianna to Shelly, to Elaine, to Sharika. Here is why. Before, you would have had Elaine on the backstretch because she would have been the fastest runner over the 200 meters, so she can handle that. I never agreed with Elaine ever being on the backstretch. You know why? Because Elaine didn't, unlike Shelly and Sharika, where they were part of relay teams consistently throughout their junior years, it didn't seem that way to me for Elaine. And every time she was on that backstretch, the button, she didn't, the changeover just didn't happen the way it's supposed to happen. Now, the thing about the backstretch and why it's so important is that you want your strongest leg there. Fastest runner, yes, but you also want the strongest changes on that leg, because that's where you want to build a lead. If you have a lead in you, that's where you want to build it up. So I never really agreed with Elaine being on the backstretch. Even last year when she was the fastest, I never really agreed with her being on the backstretch. Who I always agreed with being on the backstretch, believe it or not, was Shelly. I've said this before 2019 that Shelly should run the backstretch because we need Shelly's experience on that backstretch, so that it's not a case of we're running down somebody, you know, on the last leg. It's a case that by the time Shelly gets that button, she's gonna get it the way you're supposed to get it, pass it seamlessly, and she's gonna hand it off seamlessly. That's what you want on that back stretch. And again, it's the quote unquote longest leg. So if no mistakes happen there, whatever ground you get on, everybody else is gonna stay that way going into the third leg and obviously the final leg. So when they did it in 2019, I was like, yes, finally, Shelly is on the leg she's supposed to be on, right? 2021 happened. They took her off, put her on the third. I'm like, why is Shelly running the shortest leg? That to me, I didn't really understand. But anyway, Shelly's on the shortest leg. You're not even, by the time you're Queen, so Shelly come off of the screen. Shelly get the button and Shelly gone. To how it was Crips between Shelly and Elaine, you'd not even need notice. Shelly get the button and Shelly gone, and Shelly hand out the button and Shelly leg down, and you not even notice. Right? That's how good Shelly's third leg was. Right? But fast forward to 2021 now. Elaine is not at her best. I would have put Elaine on the anchor before and then put Sharika. And I know Sharika says she's not good at receiving the baton to hand it off. But this is my thing. If you're ever going to be a part of the relay, you're just going to have to learn at some point. Because if you get other people that aren't good at the same thing, what you're going to do? Everybody can't end up on the last leg. So we'll have to learn. We have to evolve. So I'm like, okay, Sharika needs to be on the third leg, Elaine on the anchor. So you put your two strongest sprinters and on the two longest legs. Shelly on the back stretch, Elaine on the anchor. However, fast forward to 2022, Elaine is not the strongest. I'm actually glad that she gets that third leg, which is the shortest leg. She can just get that over and done with. Shelly gets the long back stretch to dominate that and give us a lead. And then obviously by the time Elaine gets that button in the lead, zoops over to Sharika in 2 steps, because that's how short the curve is. I swear it doesn't look like she's running 100. And then Sharika gets it, newly minted Jamaican national record holder. She is going to rip that final stretch on fire. I don't see it happening any other way. If they put the team any other way, I just don't think it's going to work the way it should work, and the world record should go, providing they run it that way. That's my opinion. Yeah, so that's what I thought for the 4x1 for the women. But I feel like Brianna and Kemba are interchangeable. The only reason, again, why I'm iffy about Kemba is only because she isn't proven on the international stage just yet on that first leg. That's my only reason for saying Brianna. But again, you have to give people chances, and that's the only way you're going to see what they can do. So if they put Kemba, I feel no ways, right? If they use Kemba, they're both bullet starters. Remember, Kemba previously held the NCAA indoor record. So they're both bullet starters. They're both similar in terms of personal best. Kemba 1088 1088, right, to Brianna 1094. So they're pretty close. So anyone can work in any spot. The only thing in my mind right now that gives Brianna the edge is the experience. But again, not until somebody runs it do you know what they can do. So if Kemba gets her chance to do it, then we should feel no ways. All right, let's look at some of these comments here. We can, yeah, they can challenge. And let me tell you why I know they can challenge that 4x4. I'm betting that this is a 4x4. They can challenge it because based on what they were running wrong all these years before, they were just cutting over and then losing all of that ground that they could have made up. What they did in what I saw in that heat is get out in that first 50 to 100. Nobody was just getting the baton and just meandering along like they had nowhere to go and then trying to bust themselves, like they say, bust shot in at the final 100. That not gonna work. Wherever if you get a lead, try to maintain or build on that lead from early, and then if anything, them run back, boss sweat, I try to catch you. And I love the fact that that's what they did in the heat. It's not going to be the same set of girls, obviously, because they're going to change out of you. However, if they still maintain the same running plan, then yes, I believe that they can definitely challenge the 4x4. Yes, the girls look good. Yes, they look good. Brianna is more rested. Kemba was prepped to run 3 runs and 2 4x4. That's what she trained for. If she gets the shot, then she should be fine, rested or not. And sometimes rest doesn't help you. Look at Sherika. Sherika run 3 round at 100 and 2 round at 200 and I went into the 200-meter finals and nearly broke record. Brie, Elaine, Shelly, Sherika. Elaine at her best, maybe. Elaine is not at her best right now. Her on that back stretch, no, I don't agree. But again, that's the same thing that they did last year. So I don't know, maybe can materialize with not a gold, a world record this time. They were used to. Okay, here's a positive out of this one. They're used to this setup. They're used to running Brie, Elaine, Shelly, Sherika. So that's the only thing I would say is the only positive here. But based on how everybody is running, I don't think that they should be the setup. But let's see. I vote for Brianna as well. We want to secure the world record. I fully support Kemba, but let's run the Olympic team. Yeah, I don't see any issues with that either. Jamaica has the best chance. Listen, Jamaica had a chance. Jamaica has been having a chance to break this world record from about 2015. You need to remember that on that 4x1 leg in 2012, there was 1:10.7 sprinter, 2:10.8 sprinters, and an 11-second sprinter. Maybe a high 10:9 if you want to put it there. Bianca Knight. That's who broke the world record. So if we last year did have 2:10.6, 1:10.7, and what was it again? And a 10:9, that the record should have gone a long time. And as I said, from 2019, that the record should have 2015, sorry, that the record should have gone. But it is what it is, nothing before its time. Usually teams don't change the first leg and Brianna run. No, I don't mind Brianna running that leg at all. I just thought it was unfair to say that she would be better than Kemba when we have no idea how Kemba would do because she hasn't been given the opportunity. I think Kemba handled this better. Kemba run them a 4x1 long time. She ran it in high school. She's running it when she went to UTEC. Now over at Oregon, she's running it nonstop. So she's used to running in the relays. Plus, I think on Oregon, she runs the back stretch. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's the back stretch she runs. So yeah, Kemba is used to it. So that's why I was saying it sounded a bit off to me when they were saying that, oh, Brianna is better. And I was like, you don't know that. You didn't put her on the start. You put her on the end. That's a different race. Hey, welcome. Thank you for joining. Shelly is a monster on that backstretch. Other than that race she ran against Great Britain on that let's see what it was called again, some circuit race. I don't know if it was a Diamond League race. I think so because it's the Diamond Leagues usually have some 4x1 sometimes. But that leg race she ran down Daryl Nita, that was the only time I've ever seen Shelly rip a 4x1 anchor leg. Usually she's in front, so she doesn't really have to kill self, and you just run and you win. But that was the first time I've ever seen her rip a anchor leg. However, on that back stretch, because it's the second leg, you have no choice but to run your heart out because you don't know where you are, or if you get what I'm trying to say, and you want to give your team the best advantage ever. Shelly, burn up that the back stretch when I see her on it, and I think nothing but the back stretch suits her. She's absolutely fantastic on the backstretch. But let's not forget, it's not just her speed, it's her experience at receiving the baton and handing off the baton, which is why I'm saying Shelly is perfect for the backstretch. What time race? I don't know Atlanta time, but in Jamaica, the race is in 4 minutes. Anything, any number will come, we take it as long as it's a world record. But first and foremost, gold medal. Usually, shorter people run the curves. Not true. Not Nesta Carter. Michael Freighter was our solid backstretch runner, and if I'm looking at, I don't know their actual heights, although I know Asaf and obviously Usain are over 6 feet, but as it relates to Johan and Nesta, I'm not really sure about their heights. But Michael Freighter to me looked like the shortest, so I don't know, and he always ran the backstretch, so I don't agree with that, but. What is the race? I'm not sure what that question is for. My chapter, why are you not on the live? All right, it's good that Brian has a good start also and all, but she will run maybe 105. Kemba did her thing at trials. She will do her thing here. Again, they're interchangeable. I won't be mad if Brianna runs it, and I won't be mad if Kemba runs it. Shelley's lead was decreased on that third leg by Prandini. No, Prandini is a master of that bend. I watched her in that heat. Let me tell you, these Americans don't give Prandini props, you know. I watched her in that heat, and let me tell you something. Prandini look like she just get the button and slip around the bed. She just slide around the bend. She slide around it. Me say, no, sir, what a girl good. She slid around that bend. Prandini is a fantastic curve runner. So don't take anything from her. Don't take nothing from her. She's really, really good. All right, 4x1's coming up. They're gonna be doing their announcement, their introductions right now. I'm excited. Relays are usually a team agreement event, but definitely. Yeah, the men can grab silver. Here the problem. You don't know what kind of shape these men are turning up into. From all of these swollen Achilles to all of these things that I've been hearing, I'm nervous. I'm so nervous, you wouldn't even know. I'm just praying that they get the button around safely and nobody foot in a drop off before their leg is finished. Thought I think it's difficult to run curves. Okay. Another thing that you probably don't remember, Usain Bolt used to run the curve, and Asafa used to run the anchor. You probably don't remember. It's later on they switched him over, but Usain used to actually run the curve. So again, we see these instances where it doesn't really matter. As long as you want to run it and you can run it, then just run. Thank you, Carrie. US time 10:30. Okay, so the race is now. Jamaica, good luck. Thank you. Let's see here. Jamaica all the way, follow by USA. Jamaica straight. I'm just praying that the baton goes around safely. Because you know them coming. Oh, it's Kemba. Kemba then give you on it. She's gonna get her chance. Let's see. I didn't see who were the other two, but I'm assuming it's to Shelly, to Elaine, to Sharika. Let's see. Just get the sticker on. Just get the sticker on. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like the explanation as to why it would have been Brianna didn't make any sense to me. But the whole experience factor, but both of them have the same pros. They're pretty much the same athlete, just different people. Kemba to Elaine to Shelly to Jackson. They're running it the same way from last year. Save Kemba. Okay. I mean, I don't really agree with Elaine on that backstretch because Elaine isn't fit right now, but it is what it is. I'm nervous. Oh my God. Let's see. Ready? Okay. They're off. Good start by Kemba. All right, she's making up ground. Also, is America is making up ground as well. Come, Kemba. Jesus, Elaine, run left the button. Jesus, Savior. USA is ahead. What? We're well at back. Sherika is going to have to run down. Run down whoever is an ankle. Come, Shelly. Come, Shelly. Make up Prandini. Jesus. Come, Sharika. Come, Sharika. Come, Sharika. Wish she's not going to make it. Jesus. This is why I say wanna put Elaine on the third leg. Why then put Elaine on the back stretch and they keep constantly seeing Elaine is having issues on that back stretch. For the life of me, I don't know why. Like everybody could see this. Like, come on, guys. Being one of the fastest women alive obviously has nothing to do with it. It's how you take that button and how you send it off. And she's had issues with taking that button every time I see her in that back stretch. They should have considered all of these things, and obviously they did not. But it is what it is. We get silver, we still get a medal, and we're still happy. But it could have been better, obviously. Sharika ran as a leg there trying to catch her. They didn't run the right, guys. They didn't run the leg the right way. Why would you give your weakest 100-meter runner between the three, Elaine, Shelly, and Sharika, the longest leg to run? How that makes sense? Anthony sent on off your TV. Then get silver. You can't mad. You can't vex. Then get silver. It could be worse. You know, since Great Britain not getting a medal, it could be worse. You better be grateful. Oh my God. It could be worse. The main thing is to get that button around. I want to see that replay. It's the same thing that happened last year. Elaine left. There's a whole different thing about a 10, 7 maybe. If right now Elaine taking off from a 11-second sprinter, you're gonna leave that person. I don't think Elaine missed her mark in terms of where to take off from. I think they're underestimating how fast Elaine is getting out. And that's my issue. Like every time I watch her on that backstretch, I am thinking that they don't have enough time practicing, which is why they cannot tell how to gauge how fast Elaine is going. Because it's the same thing that happened last year, and I refuse to believe that Elaine left too early on each time. I am thinking that they're not gauging, because they put down the markers. They need to stretch it a bit better. Give Elaine maybe more to run then, and less for the first leg person. Because if she's gonna take off this fast while they're slowing down, then obviously you need to push her back some more then. Yeah, Sharika was closing that like a monster. But overall, guys, I think they just put them on the wrong leg. Elaine should have run the third leg this time, and Shelly the backstretch. Didn't they see what happened in 2019? Am I the only one that watched in 2019? Please, people in the chat, tell me if you remember 2019 and see Shelly on the backstretch there. Am I the only one that remembers it? Because it can't be me alone remember that, and I'm sure the coaches see it too. So that don't make no sense. I'm gonna have to break down this 4x1 over and over and over and over again. I'm gonna have to watch this thing over and over and over again. But I'm tired of telling people I say Elaine if you run pan. Well, I don't know if this is the first time I'm saying it here, but I've said it loud to everybody else that knows me. Elaine should not run that second leg because there's an obvious issue there. I've seen her run it in 2015. 2015, she got run down by Alison Felix at the time, because Alison Felix was also on the backstretch. And I'm thinking to myself, was it 2015? No, which year was it? Which year was she on the backstretch? I'm trying to remember if it was 2015. Anyway, the point is that Elaine Thompson has not done her best on the backstretch. Where I've seen her run her best is either the third leg or the anchor. However, this time around, I do not think the anchor would suit her because, again, I don't think she's at her best. I think they should have definitely put her on the third leg and given Shelly that second leg. But everything is in hindsight, and as I say, hindsight is 2020. So I don't know. Look, I didn't learn nothing. Every single time these people listen, this real record that come from 2015. From 2015, this real record is coming and it still can't materialize. I don't say never, but the issue that she has needs to be worked on. And how do you work on that issue? By having practice. Means say if the J3As or whoever need to set up one relay camp where the athlete them come in, maybe from early season, I don't know, whenever. Just get a few people in, 10 girls or 10 of our best athletes, and just have them practice these things. Because right now it's not working. You can't just slap them together. Yes, they've been doing relays in high school, but there's certain issues that it won't be fixed if you just slap them together like this. That can't work. And obviously practice is what's lacking. And until then, either you put Elaine on the backstretch, or not the backstretch, on the third leg or the anchor. I've seen Elaine run some anchors and I'm like, Elaine, I just say you need to stay. But you know how they go with this anchor leg. I don't know how and why, and they choose who goes on the anchor leg. But for me, I'm thinking who based on the four, because it's not overall who. Okay, I will just throw Sharika maybe in anchor. No, it's based on the four that I have. So if my four is Kemba Nelson, Brianna Williams, Sharika, and somebody else. I start thinking in my brain, okay, me not put Sharika, me not think me I put Sharika upon anchor because by then it's probably too late. I'm thinking to front load my relay and get Sharika in early so that if there's any hope of developing a lead, then it will happen from there. So I think they're not taking into consideration all of these changes happening and they're just going like this slap and they're just slapping it together and they must say, well, food ready. But the food spoil. Yeah, that's what I think. Well, I don't think Brianna and Kemba is interchangeable. I don't think there's any difference between Brianna and Kemba. But I definitely thought that Elaine and Shelly should have been swapped. No, and it's not today. Go back. I challenge you. Go back and watch Prandini in every relay leg that she's on for the United States on that third leg and see how she runs. She's fantastic on that third leg. Brianna to Jacko to Elaine to Shelly. J- Here the problem. Sherika say she not good at receiving button. So Shelly not good at so the only person that's good at receiving button on this team is Shelly apparently. Because Elaine is not good at receiving it either. Ah well. Why? I don't know. Lord of mercy. No, I'm definitely proud of them. I think it could have been worse. They could have just not medaled, and then everything would have been even worse. Would I still gonna say our cost like crazy, but it is what it is. We medal, we got a silver, but the world record eludes us once again. Not just the gold, but also the world record. And I think it's full time these coaches that are behind the scene, whoever they have in the Jamaican camp, start to sit down and look at these athletes individually and see what they bring to the team individually and not just look at fast times. Don't look at personal best. Yes, Elaine is one of the fastest people ever. However, but look at their history, what they've done here. How has Shelly run here? How has Sherika run there? And look at those things. And then when you look at them and you say, okay, based on all of this data that I have from the past, based on what they've done, I think Elaine is best suited to the first leg. I think Shelly is best suited to the anchor. I think Sherika is best suited to the third leg. And you know, that kind of thing. I think they're setting up the team based on who is running fast or whatever, and I just don't think it's working. Man, if only listen, if Shakira was there, America would have probably brought their own world record. Because America beat Jamaica and they're not on a team. So me don't even know if you say. And I'm not to disrespect these girls, but when you look at the rank overall for all of these athletes, these are 11-second athletes that came and defeated a powerhouse Jamaican team. I mean, come on. No, they're hella fast. They're way too fast, and this has been happening from 2015. As I said, it's not 2022. It's not 2021. It's not 2000. It's been years, and I give them a blind 2019 because the team was at a deficit, and 2017 as well. Things just never panned out the way. But we have had a solid team for years, and it just hasn't been working. We are not running, so we can't speak. Okay, if you don't want to speak, it's fine. Allow us here to, vent our emotions based on how we want our athletes to perform and expect them to perform based on their caliber. If these athletes were 11-second, 12-second runners, we wouldn't be out here singing gold, gold, gold. These are the greatest sprinters in their events. Shelly is the greatest 100-meter sprinter. Sherika is now making a claim in the 200 meters to be the greatest there. And Elaine is the greatest is one of the greats over the both distances. Are you going to tell us that we can't expect great things from such great athletes? Listen, this is a powerhouse team. I understand your frustration. We definitely wanted that gold. As I did say shortly before the race, gold first, world record second. Everything went. First leg 11:45, 11:10:10, 9:6. So you see, then put Elaine, that's currently the slowest of the three athletes, on one of the longest legs. That to me don't make no sense. Also, that 966 the Sherika run, I think that's the fastest split. I'm gonna have to look it up. I think it was 9. Yeah, man. I think that's the fastest split ever run. I'm gonna have to double check that. I think that was the fastest. That's the fastest split ever, or one of the fastest splits ever. I'm gonna have to double check it. Why is it? Yeah, same. I don't think there's a. I still don't believe that there's a difference between Brianna and Kemba. 11. What did Brianna run yesterday? I'm gonna have to look back. Right now, Kemba ran 11:45, and remember, it took a while for her to get that button to Elaine because Elaine was gone. So you have to take all of that into consideration. I don't think there's a difference. If you look back on that time, you know what? Let me do it now. Let me look back on what they ran yesterday. Was it yesterday? Okay, yesterday. Let me just go back. Let me go back. Let me go back. 4 by. Oh, day 8. 4 by 1 really results. Heat. What did Brianna run? Brianna ran the same 11.45 yesterday with a better changeover. So you know what that tells me? Kemba's leg was actually faster than Brianna's. So again, as I said, there's no difference between the two. The two of them literally run the same way in terms of they have the same pros. Kemba also has a very fast start. Kemba and Brianna literally have the same pros over the 100 meters, and literally the same cons because good starts fade a little towards the end of the race. Yeah, Shelly ran her heart out. I saw her running, trying to catch back Prandini and run that bend. But the damage was already done on that change. They should have put Shelly on that second leg. Me not know if they now remember what happened in 2019. Maybe I'm me alone see that the race. Maybe I'm me alone see how devastating Shelly is on that backstretch. Right now, the only thing that can make me overcome this is Silver if the man them come and win goal. Oh, mercy. Yes, it's still a good silver medal. We're happy for a silver. Don't get us wrong. Even though we're analyzing the race like this, we're not ungrateful. We're happy. I checked the time. Brianna was 11:45 as well in her heat. In the heat. Oh my God. It's like we shouldn't, I don't know. It is what it is. I think because we're analyzing it, people don't, and it sounds like we're angry and mad at the. We're not mad at the athletes. We know it's not easy going out there, obviously, but again, we expect the best from them because they are the best. No. Elaine is not doing so bad that she should be pulled. She's just not 10-5 Elaine. She's at 10, she's 10-7/10-8 Elaine, which is much better than every other athlete out there, save the other Jamaicans. But based on our team structure, she should have been on a different leg. I'm gonna Don, I'm gonna have to rewatch the race. I haven't had a chance to really watch the race over. Maybe I can do another breakdown on it at some point in time, but it is what it is. They need practice. That's my thing. Anyway, the men are on the track now, so I'll probably be pausing this for a moment. Brenna should start. Kemba felt something. Okay, I never saw that. I just realized that Don was saying that Kemba felt something. Probably that's why Elaine left her. But this is all part of the relay. Things happen, so we can't get mad at that either. We can't go if she pulled that muscle even worse. We're glad that it stick out her own. It should have been Elaine. I do think Elaine and Shelly have great chemistry with the baton, but boy, I don't even know. Guys, hindsight is 2020, so we can all sit here and break the race apart and whatever went wrong. But maybe the coaches at the time thought it would have been the right thing to do and it would have been perfect. And guess what? If they won gold, we wouldn't have been sitting here complaining. It's facts. We wouldn't be complaining. All right, let's see if the men can do us a favor and get gold. Oh yeah, I doubt it, boy. Because if we can hang on for one medal, I pray we get a medal from these men. Cause right now, I know them not have none. Okay. Come guys, come guys. All right, they're off. Okay. All right. Is that America right beside? Who that tell us? Okay, America is leaving us. Okay, Christian Coleman left us. Because I was wondering who was that right outside of us. Johan is trying to make up something. Come on, Johan, get that leg together. Okay. Jeez, Jamaica is so far behind. Jeez. Oh my God. Come, Jamaica. Can we get something? Who is this? No. Canada wins. Canada wins. Ghana gets second, third. You know, I was going to talk about Ghana. They look so good. And I was like, wow. Ghana looked absolutely fantastic in their heat. So they came through and they got a bronze. America second. It is what it is. Jamaica was done on the back foot from the get-go. And it just got worse progressing. I mean, thinking about it, I'm not mad because I know this shape that the guys are in. They did their best. They're not at their best, so they came out and they represented to the best of their ability, and that's all we can hope for. So, yeah. Let me go back to some of these comments here. I can't bother to comment. The coach has made a huge error. Boy, I feel like we are beat a dead horse. It should have been Elaine to Shelley chemistry. Yeah, the chemistry is good between them. The 2S them alone should just run the entire race. The 2S them shouldn't. Shelly and Sherika should run the whole race alone. Lord God. Um. So yes, and Brianna made them win the race. It wasn't all four ladies. Okay. Brianna, Shelly, Elaine, Sherika. Elaine should have stayed home. Oh, who this? All right. So Ken, please tell me who wouldn't take Elaine place then, since Elaine should have stayed home. Congratulations, Team US. Yes, let us congratulate the United States. Oh, the fastest is 9.57. Okay. It's that 966 is pretty close. And remember, well, then again, none of those girls that run those times were thin there. So, and some of them look like they were a bit touched at the time they were running it too. Brenna has more experience with those girls, and she has right, which is the pro that I thought she had over Kemba. But otherwise, they're pretty much the same runners, and I think they're interchangeable. And I don't think we should come down on Kemba alone for whatever happened. I'm gonna have to watch the race, especially if she pulled a muscle in the race or something. I think it's really unfair to just knock her for something like that. I just think overall the team structure was wrong. I think that's what defeated us and not any quote unquote individual person. We said that now gonna happen for the man them. We not even get one medal. Where we finish fifth runner, no fourth, but we're close enough. We were close enough. Lord have mercy. Yes, no, obviously, we are not knocking our athletes ever. We're venting our frustration on what the possibilities of what could have been based on, structures and stuff like that. But it's not a personal attack against Elaine, Shelly, Sherika, or Kemba, or Brianna. Never, never, never a personal attack against anyone because we know these athletes are doing their best and things will happen. No, yeah, that 2019 4x1 people no remember Shelly on a leg there. When I watched that race, and I don't know if you remember a few days ago, one of our commentators was saying I literally watched these races over and over and over again. I watched them over and over again. People don't remember what Shelly did on that leg. Shelly was fantastic, and I think that was enough to say that Shelley was the backstretch runner. Last year, I was disappointed that they didn't put her on the backstretch. At the time, our channel didn't exist, and I remember having a discussion, and I was saying, why didn't they put Shelley on the backstretch? I know Elaine is the fastest woman alive in 2021, fastest over both the 100 and the 200, but that doesn't mean that leg is for her, and I still don't believe that leg is for her, and I think that's where they made the mistake. Shelly looks like she was made for the backstretch. Let me tell you what USA women I've noticed have been able to do. They have never had the strongest runners, but they've always been able to run a fantastic 4x1 team. When I go back to 2016, America beat us out of lane one. They were in lane one and they beat us at the Olympics. So listen, they always have a four, and it's like they say to themselves, "Well, we just have to go do it," and then just come out and they do it. They've always done well on the female side. Yes, they've had a few mishaps here and there. However, those four ladies, it's like times don't matter to them. They'll come out and they'll defeat giants. And today we were the giants, and today they literally chopped us down. Yeah, USA was definitely better. I saw TT Terry saying in their post heat race interview that they went to a relay camp. I don't know if it was, I don't know when was that relay camp, but it sounds like they had a relay camp. Jamaica needs to start taking these things into consideration. I think I remember in 20, gosh, I don't want to quote a year right now, but there was a time, I think it was shortly before, it's either right before Shirley got pregnant or after Shirley got pregnant. I think it was around 2017. She was saying that we need to start taking the relays more seriously and start doing relay camps and stuff like that. And I think it's full time they start because they're taking things for granted. Why you think a China and a Japan and some of these countries can feature in some of these races, even though some of these athletes are the slowest? Because they're constantly practicing. We can't be taking things for granted all the while thinking that, oh, you are the fastest, it will just work and plug and play, plug and play, plug and play. These athletes need practice, and I'm disappointed that the administration is not doing what they need to do for in the best interests of the athletes, and then in turn making us, the supporters, sit down here disgruntled, making it look like we're cursing the athletes. But we're not necessarily mad at the athletes, but the administration isn't putting everything in place that they can to make our team as good as it should be. Brenna should have started. She's a championship performer. Yeah, we still won a medal, so we're happy about that. Yeah, it just wasn't to be again. Brenna should have started. The man them worse. Oh my. Whoever set up the race need for that show. I mean, I don't think fourth is a bad place at all. I definitely don't think fourth is a bad place for them. I think they did really good based on what they're working with. Was it in this race? I don't remember. I think it was on third leg or something. Um, a few Johan Blake having a swollen Achilles, oblique also having his troubles. All three of the four athletes that ran were running on supposed injuries, and then only the young guy on the first leg, Blake, was possibly not injured or anything like that. So I think a fourth place is a good was a good outcome for them. So I'm definitely not mad at them. I'm disappointed that the men will look like they're going to leave the championship. Well, they still have one shot in the 4x4. Um, the 4x4 men coming up, but it's definitely it's if they didn't think they had an issue last year when Hansel was the only medalist individually, I think this is the biggest wake up call for the men. I know they're not as disciplined as they say the females are in track and field, so that's why you see the females more successful than the men. Then if you start getting undisciplined, then because at this point our male track and field team is gone to the dogs. And I did say track and field because we do have a few world class field athletes, and they've also not been seeing their best years because of injuries as well. So I think I think they're gonna come with a resurgence next year, because minus the injuries and people getting back to their best, I think that hopefully there are a few athletes that will step up and fill a few ranks for us. Tough luck for Hansel. I definitely thought that Hansel could have pulled a gold medal for us there as well. But outside of that, I think we have a few athletes that can fill a few ranks come next year, and I think they'll be coming back with a bit of vengeance to try to win medals and show that it's just not the women, because right now it look like them not exist. Go Canada in your face, USA. Look here, you have the USA people that must say we're bad men, you know. Oh my gosh. Yes, the United States team is way better on paper, and that's the risk you run when you don't, And I think it's even worse for the USA men because they are pulling from so many different people. While we're pulling from people that are from the 100 mainly, they're pulling from people in the 200. You see a whole different set of people running these races. So, hmm. Did Anderson Peters win that gold medal? That's great. Yes, your yard them. Your second yard win, Yanni. Your second yard. Anthony. The tears them done gone already. We done ball over the race. It's over. We have to move on. We have to move on. Yes, the race done. Don't do Ken like that. Don't do Ken like that. I don't know why Ken said Elaine should have stayed home. Oh my god. Yes, I love Anderson Peters, so I'm glad that he was able to win the gold medal there. And I love the representation from the Caribbean. Can I tell you? Wow. All right, I'm hearing somebody saying that they don't believe the second leg is the longest. Let's see. Okay, you know what? Before I listen to whatever these people are saying, I have to say, even with the fact that Elaine left Kemba for whatever reason, you realize she didn't look behind her. It shows that she didn't panic. She actually slowed, made sure she collected the button before the zone ended. And we have to start looking at the positives now. So it's not all bad, right? But well, the gold medal gone. We could stop talking about it. The gold medal gone. I really do hope Bruno changes. Change. We wanted to change coach. Well, I mean, I don't know that. All I would say is stick to. Okay, and here is one of the commentators here on TVJ, David, saying that sometimes we depend too much on speed, which I do, which is what I was saying. We are wholly dependent on our speed and not looking at the issues. Look at the issues. You see this year in year out when these athletes are running, you can pinpoint it and say, this is what we need to tighten up right here. This is what we need to fix. Maybe we can change an athlete to someplace else. Is that them not look on it? Them just say, well, the fastest people alive, we no go run. The man them not disappointing like the woman honestly was expecting goal or she. We're not as disappointed in the men because we weren't expecting anything. We're disappointed with the women's result because we were expecting gold. It's a whole different kettle of fish. Two different things. When you already make up your mind, say so we're not a medal or we probably just scrape a medal, then it's a different feeling. Yeah, no, I don't know why he said Elaine should have stayed home. That was the meanest thing I heard. Like, I don't know why. They need to train together. That's what I've been saying. They need to train together. I don't know when. Okay, all of these athletes know. At one point, most of them were at MVP, but right now, all of them they're all about the players. So obviously, it's going to be a struggle to get these athletes together to do any type of training. But it's something that they need to make mandatory or something because it needs to happen. It needs to happen because it cannot be the continued excuse that you train over this or you train over this or blah blah blah. If you want to be a part of the 4x1 relay team, you come to the mandatory camp. And as hard as that may sound, it has to work some way somehow because Japan, China, and all these other slower countries are able to do it successfully while still maintaining whatever individual hope they may have or dreams in whatever event. Jamaican them can do it too. Them can do it too. It not gonna kill them. Congratulations, Canadian men. Yeah, definitely. Canada take a pullback from the America because I heard the American commentator bragging on the stream about can America take all the sprint events, the 100, the 200, the 100-meter hurdles, the relays, and as he must say that, so them will lose the gold medal. Me say me bad man one more time. Oh yes, USA definitely. You know what? At least I got a silver because last year they were favorites and then they didn't even make the final. The relay is a team effort, so yeah, I believe that the team should whatever J3s needs to do to make the team more cohesive, they need to do it and stop having you know what, because of their ridiculous expectations, we also have really ridiculous expectations because we're thinking that it's also plug and play, And it's not plug and play. And if you don't watch and follow athletics as say a lot of you guys in here, then say for instance, most of the common Jamaican people, then they're sitting down there disappointed, wondering how did Jamaica not win gold, not knowing that there's a lot more that goes into winning this gold. And I think it does a disservice to these athletes, making Jamaica sit down and be like, I want to do, when it's not really them, if you get what I'm saying. But he used to run the third leg. In 2009, he ran the third leg as well. He ran the third leg in 2007. So I think when he started running the anchor was 2011. And the only reason he ran that anchor was because Asafa was apparently injured. And then when they realized he was working on that anchor and everything was good, they kept him there. But he didn't used to run anchor. He ran third in 2000, because remember now, he's known as the 200-meter sprinter. So they're thinking you're the best bend runner. That's what their thought process is. Best bend runner means say you go run the bend. And they always put him on the bend. 2007, he was on the bend. 2008, he was on the bend. 2009, he was on the bend. A blank year in 2010. 2011 now is when he came on the anchor, I believe. And that's when they also broke the world record. Yeah, that's when they broke the world record again, and then they broke it in 2012, right? Oh, there it is. I agree with you. And that is the reason why I said that Shelly is the best backstretch runner, because she's the more steady athlete, the more experienced athlete. Michael Frater was not the fastest by any stretch of the imagination. Okay, let's go back to 2012. Go and watch that relay. Since you not listen to me now, go watch the relay there with Nesta Carter against Justin Gatlin and see how much ground Justin Gatlin you'd have said are pulled away from um Michael Frater. It wasn't that much. Michael Frater held his own on that leg. You know why? Because of his experience receiving the baton and handing the baton off. He was able to keep up with a Justin Gatlin on the second leg. Don't get me wrong, he didn't outrun him and he didn't run faster than him or match him, but he didn't, Justin Gatlin didn't leave him for dead. And remember, Justin Gatlin is said medalist from the Olympics in the 100 meters. So he was by far faster than Nesta Carter, meaning say by the time you get the baton, it shouldn't be over and done with. And that didn't happen. So yes, I agree with you. Shelly should have been on the backstretch, and she proved her worth on the backstretch in 2019. And that's all the more that alone should have solidified it in our brains that Shelly is the best backstretch runner. When I can't plug anybody else anywhere else, well, no, not true. I would always keep Brianna on first, and I would always keep Kemba on first. That's just where I think they should stay, right? But Sherika and Ilian can move anywhere else, but Shelly needs to stay on that backstretch, because that's where you make or break your relay. If you notice where most people have issues on their relays, the backstretch, that's where you make and break your relay. Brandon is the best band runner. I've been saying I used to do not fast. You know, Prandini is sick over that bend, man. I've been watching her over the years. And you know, they never give her credit. And this is the first championship I'm seeing them really calling her out and giving her the credit she has been due. I've seen them cuss her from going on the team for the 100 meters. Oh, she thieved the black girl spot. All of these nonsense things. And I'm like, Prandini is very valuable to your team if you don't notice. Kemba pulled no muscle. Okay. I need to rewatch the race. I hope they post it on World Athletics or someplace that I can rewatch it properly and slow it down and see the replays. What I'm interested in is in the slow down, the replay, to see exactly what happened so I can talk about it, I guess. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There were a lot of them were injured, so fourth is not bad. I'm surprised the Jamaican team came fourth. I'm surprised they came fourth too. Look at the video, very relaxed after. Who is that? Terry, who was relaxed after. Canada win the men, yeah? To the pigs. What are you talking about, Dennis? Shelley said in an interview that they didn't practice. And they didn't practice last year either. You heard what's his name? What's Brenner's coach name again? Otto. You heard Otto Bolden say on air that they didn't practice none at all. This needs to stop. This needs to stop. We are taking these things for granted. Let's go back to the mixed 4x4. These things need to stop. Where we need to maximize our athletes' potential. So if we know say if we put X, Y, and Z together and they can possibly get us a medal, put X, Y, and Z together, please, and then get a medal and stop saying okay, playing politics and putting who here when not even. Sometimes to me I'm lost when I look at some of what these people are doing. I'm really lost. Looking at the race, Elaine ran 10. Yeah, based on what they say on the relay, the back stretch is the longest leg. So which is why sometimes you see some of the slowest times coming out of it. And what they tend to do on the back stretch as well is they stretch it, meaning that they make you receive it soon, a lot sooner, and hand over a lot later. So you get the maximum stretch out of the back stretch, which is why some maybe the third leg ends up looking so short because the back stretch ends up running so long, kind of thing. But yeah, I'm not surprised by that run at all. Remember, she's not at her best as well. So we have to take these things into consideration. Also, this is the first year that they're really showing us these breakdowns, and we haven't been seeing it the rest of the year, so we don't really have anything to compare it against. Usually, they only give us like a one race split. Like they'll tell us what Usain Bolt ran on his split or something like that, and they never really tell us what everybody runs. So until we start seeing what is the standard on the backstretch, will we have a real comparison, what to compare it against? At least for me, that is, I can't compare what a 10-10, what 10-10 is supposed to look like against something else because they didn't break it down like that for us. So I'd love to see what it looks like against what they ran last year, because again, last year they also had problems, but she was the second fastest ever then. So I would have loved to see what she ran on the backstretch last year. But I think the backstretch is the longest. When I look at the race, it looks the longest to me. I don't know. Abisana was on the backstretch. So they took out what's her name? They took out what's her name? What's the rest of the girl name? I'm gonna look at this race. Yeah. Because I not even know who running on this American team. Timetable. I'm just jumping back and forth between different things. Result. What is his heat? Oh, final. Jamaica second. Oh, they're collecting their medals now. Great. What's this I'm looking at? Oh no, this is the 4x4. Wrong thing. Wrong thing. Wrong thing. Wrong thing. Okay, here we go. Okay. Okay, it was Abby Steiner. And she ran 9. Let me go look at this official result thing. 9.86. So it's 11.35 to 11.45. Melissa Jefferson beat Kemba. This is the same Melissa Jefferson that Kemba beat at NCAAs. Then Abby Steiner ran a 9.86 to Elaine's 10.10. Obviously, all of the hiccups that they had in between is why Elaine's time was so slow. to factor that in. Then Shelly, obviously seeing the deficit that we're under, ran faster than Prandini around the bend. But again, it was such a deficit that by the time Sherika run at the 10, that the 966 to 20 Shatteri's 988, it was already over. I mean, the race was pretty much lost on that backstretch because of what happened. Make that Canada win. Oh Lord. Next year, Shelly maybe not there. I don't want to think about Shelly not being around because Shelly is such a stalwart in her team. Somebody that just gives you confidence and gives you security that everything is going to be okay, even if they're not necessarily winning goal. That is what she gives to the Jamaican team. Just her being there gives us that kind of security. And I'm scared thinking about what the world will be like without Shelly. I don't want to think about it. Great work, girl. Thank you so very much. Thank you. I'm trying. I'm trying. May I try a thing? How much did they come? All I hear is they didn't win. Okay. The Jamaicans finished second. So America finished first, sorry. Jamaica second. Yeah. So all that talking you hear us disappointment. We're so disappointed and Jamaica got second. Can you believe it? Yes, we're spoiled rotten, but we did get a silver medal, so that is something to celebrate. I hope the team go to the Commonwealth and set a world leading. I don't think these girls are going to the Commonwealth. I don't think Elaine is going. I don't think Shelly is going. I don't think Sherika is going. The Commonwealth for Jamaica has always been a who can medal globally, like in an Olympics or in a world championship. That's when they go. And they've only ever gone to the Commonwealth on an off year. The off year was this year if the world championship fell in the year it was supposed to fall in, but that didn't happen. Nobody now go. Me not see them go. The Commonwealth is gonna have I don't know who, but they're not going. I don't think so. The fastest changeover was between Elaine and Sherika and Kemba in the whole race. I believe Kemba ran a longer leg. That's very interesting. I don't know. Like, all right, this was my take from the race last year. Based on where they put down the markers, I'm thinking they're underestimating Elaine's, and I said it before, and I think they're underestimating how fast Elaine gets out. Two, in comparison to the incoming runner. She's not getting out from a Shelly. She's getting out from a Kemba. And you have to compare her times to a Kemba. So when Elaine shoots off, she shut off. So I'm thinking that's pretty much what happens in the races. And that's why I'm saying I think they're underestimating her speed and they need to push her marker back some more so that she doesn't leave these girls when she takes off. I don't know where the marker needs to go because I'm not a coach, obviously, but I'm just saying something needs to happen with her marker because they're underestimating how fast this girl is going on because she left Brianna last year and she left Kemba this year. And I refuse to believe, as I said, I refuse to believe that Elaine is having the same issue she had last year because whatever mistakes that she may have made, she would have tried to better them this year. So I don't think it is the same thing. I'm thinking that they're underestimating how fast this girl is going off because what? They're not practicing. There's no practice. So there's no real indication of, oh my God, Elaine is really such a monster when she gets out. There's nothing to say that. Then just say, all right, marker there, so okay, good to take on, receive, blah, blah, blah. Why do you think the change off is so good between Shelly and Elaine? Because that's literally the same incoming speed to the same outgoing speed. So nothing will falter. They won't falter there. But when somebody's slower with a faster person going off, they need to, I think, make sure that they have in practice so that they can get that part seamless. USA will win the meet. Yeah, USA always wins. They always top the medal table. I think the only year they didn't top was 2015 in recent memory. The only year they didn't top the medal table was in 2015 when Kenya won and Jamaica was, were we second? Based on medals, that is medal, not medal count, but medal, the type of medals that you get, because they rank them based on gold, silver, bronze. I think we ended up second and America third, which was a shocker for them, right? But usually they top the table, so no issues there. But I think they may go down in history as having some of the best, one of the best championship ever based on overall medal count. So let's see. They have quite a few gone so far. I know that much. Look at the World Relays 2017. I believe in 200. Elaine almost run away from Sharika. Same scenario as Kemba. Elaine should never run the second leg, please. Yes, I remember that relay. Um, Again, is it a case where Elaine is not getting her timing right? I do not think so. I think the markers are placed wrong because they're underestimating this girl's going out speed. So I remember that race vividly because I always remember that Sharika had to no, it's not that way around. It's not Elaine run left Sharika. Wasn't it Sharika taking the in the I'm thinking you're talking in the heat, Gary. In the heat, Elaine handed over to Sharika. I think that's how it went in the heat, and I think that's not where the issue happened. That's where the issue happened, isn't it? Wasn't it like some slowdown, something? I'm gonna have to watch it again. I can't really speak to it now, but I'm gonna watch it again and I'll see. Yeah, they're a bit mean to Elaine when they want to. Don't forget that Elaine is a double Olympic champion, the only woman in history. Let me repeat that. The only woman in history to have ever won the 100 and 200 in back to back Olympics. Okay, let me hear the girls. Let me hear what they're saying. Elaine says she's happy about the medals that she got. I like how Shelly puts it. They didn't put any medals out there and they have to come out and run. So, yeah, we do take it for granted because they're the best in the world. We expect, obviously, the best. But the truth of the matter is they actually have to go out and do it. So, they got a silver and we're happy for that. But I said, that's Sharika on the 4x4. Sharika not running. Sharika don't want to see another 4x4 for the rest of her life. All right, Sharina, don't talk for now. Yeah, they're grateful for their silver for sure. Again, they didn't have to get a medal. So many things could have gone wrong. So we have to get we have to be grateful. Okay, let's move on to some of these comments. Okay. Relays need to be. What is. Dennis, you crack me up. Relays need to be a part of a few Diamond. They do have them. They have it in the every time the British, the sort of Diamond League in London is one that always has it, and I think there's another. I think in Sweden, not Sweden, Switzerland. Yeah, there's one that's always kept in Switzerland as well. I think those are the only two. But yeah, definitely think that there needs to be many more, not just on Diamond League. I think all of the local track meets, I think that these athletes need to also take advantage of them when we have Gibson relays. You know, just take advantage of mile relays, whatever relays we have here. We need to take advantage of it and try to get our athletes out there. Even if you're only running with your club people, at least they're getting experience with in different positions, so that when they come to the senior team, then regardless of whichever leg you're put on, then you can, maximize your potential. Elaine's split is also based on the fact that she slowed down for Kemba. Yeah, I know. That's why her leg is so slow. So I don't want nobody to look at that 10-10 at face value. Everything needs to be taken in context. I think the coach. I think the coach that made the decision where the runner's placement made. I'm beginning to say Brianna, Sherika, Elaine, Shelley, and okay. I mean, Sherika on the backstretch when you're looking for stability may not be the best leg for her, not because of obviously her speed, because she obviously has that in her bones. In terms of just taking off, taking the button and handing it off. Obviously you want to make sure everything goes seamlessly. So I think that would be the big question as to whether or not you put Sharika on the backstretch. But I honestly think that going forward, our girls need to start to practice taking the button and handing it off. So in the future, if Elaine, if Sherika needs to run on the backstretch, then there are no issues with her running there. And whatever leg you're placed on, you're able to run well. I think so. So I think overall, though, they need the experience and the practice there, so that when they come to these championships, everything just works seamless. Champs change of was way too long. Raj, I'm gonna have to rewatch the race. I didn't get an opportunity to look at the race in finer detail because I'm talking on air as well. So in the coming days, I will be looking back at the race and analyzing it to the best of my ability. Right now, it's just a dry run, but if that's your opinion on it, then let's see. Yeah, I did see that she ran the backstretch. It gone already, Gary. We just have to move on with life right now. Everybody I talk about how not I take I taught this about how the team's doing change over practice, except who. Oh, the big B. Is that the big B not talking about it? God of mercy. God of mercy. No, sir. Blame the coach. No question that they're making those decisions. Yeah, I definitely don't think that it has anything to do with the athletes per se. I mean, they just carry out the decisions on the track to the best of their ability, but I don't think the best decisions were made for them. Um, I mean, I've been seeing a lot of coaching blunders since the championship, but I've also seen a positive today. Today, I saw a really good positive in the women's 4x4. I missed the men's 4x4, so I don't know what happened with them. I don't know if they had the same tactic when they were running, but I was very impressed with how the women took out in the 4x4. That's how we should be running the 4x4, and I've always had an issue with how they were running it before. So I was very impressed with what I saw, and hopefully that this chance does this carries through into tomorrow, and we can have another strong showing. But yeah, I definitely think they're blundered a few times during the championship, but no, you know what? I don't think track and field has been any bigger than it has been in Jamaica right now than it currently is, because guess what? There are a lot of people that are more in tune to it now for one reason or another. Even without Usain Bolt, it's still very, very big. And now we can start holding these coaches accountable to their actions. So now they need to start telling us, why did you make this decision? Why did you do this? Why did you do that? That kind of thing. I remember last year, if I'm not mistaken, with the USA 4x1, when the men didn't qualify for the finals, I believe heads rolled. I think they changed the entire coaching team, the staff, everybody who got head coach now is completely different from the people last year. So if heads need to roll, then heads need to roll. But we need to start taking these people accountable. Was Kemba hurt? I'm not sure. I didn't hear her say anything about being hurt in her interview. Saying the US gets a lot of. I'm tired of hearing the commentators saying the US gets a lot of practice. Shelley, in one of her interviews, said honestly we don't get much practice, much or any. It's when you go to yeah, and think about it. The United States is so big, and all these people are from so many different parts of America. Just think about um what it would take to get all of these athletes together for a relay camp. So their federation obviously puts the money together, has the funding. So if we need to fly these people out to get them there, blah blah blah, it can be done without any issues, right? So I don't see why like a Jamaica, if one person in Manchester, one in Chilani, then you fly one helicopter to the person in Chilani and then grab the person in Manchester and then get on to Kingston or something. I don't know. Like it can't be that difficult. Like to me, it don't make no sense. All of these girls train in Jamaica. Say if Brianna, but Brianna, this is Brianna yard. Brianna's always here anyway. So make it work, make it happen. Yeah, the incoming speed and outgoing speed needs to be definitely much. And I think that's where it's not syncing up for them. I definitely think that, again, they're not taking into consideration any of that. And I don't know if it's an experience thing on Elaine's side where she has to mentally understand that she's not taking the button from Shelly. She's taking it from somebody much slower. So she has to slow herself down as well. But she can't just shoot out like a rocket kind of thing. I don't know, but I definitely think the speed coming into her and her going out, it's two different ball game. Um, it's all right. This is gonna make the Jamaican girls hungrier. It's gonna make the federation wake up and realize their errors and hopefully fix it. So it is what it is. Relay is not only a speed race, it's also about race efficiency, baton change, and markers need to be. Yeah, hella practice needs to happen for this to work though. A lot of practice. You're still crying? Well, I don't think we cried. I think we moved to different phases of um anger. Let's see, anger and frustration, acceptance, and now we're moving into okay, fine, we're happy about the medal, but I don't think we cried. We definitely moved through phases of frustration on live about not getting gold. 85 people in the chat. What a go on! I saw 100 and odd people here, and I forgot to say this, but guys, thank you so much for joining me. I'm really, really happy that you took your time out to stay with me on this live and have fun. Oh my God. I know. I just really appreciate it. I have to say. But yeah. Oh, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. Shelly is one of the best starters, yes, but when Shelly started, she didn't Shelly started in 2012. I don't know if you remember. And Shelly got defeated by Bianca. Or was it Tiana Bartoletta? Some me not remember who did up on the first leg, but they run like Shelly. I don't think Shelley's best leg is, even though she's the best starter, I don't think the first leg is suited to her ever. Because why? Because of what I've seen before, based on experience. The one time I saw her, maybe was it the only time she's ever run first leg? I think so. I don't remember she's ever run it before, but one time in my memory right now, she didn't do as well as she's done on other legs. So I don't think the first leg is the best for her. Oh, Sherry go come on with. What she gotta go to? Break world record? Must that? I'm looking forward to it though. Some people need to get off of the record books. Full stop now. Time to we move on with the life and start. Make them girl like, get embraced and start make some crazy money. If you ever know how those records are stopping these girls' bag. Jamaica needs to have a set relay team. That trains are like how both team. No, they never train. Both team never trained. They plug and play, but they made it work somehow because they're men, and men seem to be able to put their defenses aside easier than women. I think for women it's harder to come and run with somebody that you're not necessarily friends with. With men, they all laugh and then just go run and they're all happy and everything like that. So I think that's also part of the issue that they need to um be more, I guess, friendly with each other, which they're obviously not. But not no, both them never practice, and it's hard to say have a set relay team when you don't know who is going to make the team. Remember, Brianna made it last year, Kemba made it this year. Maybe Elaine, God forbid, let me not use Elaine. Let me not use Shelly, let me not use Sharika. God for somebody, other people are gonna come up and make the team, but you never know what's gonna happen on a given day. And because you don't know, you can't have a set team. But I believe that you can pinpoint the girls that you believe will be thereabouts. And you can say, okay, this is the 8 girls that I believe will be there. Shelly, Elaine, Sharika, Brianna, Kemba, Natalia White, Natasha Morrison. You just bring these 8 girls together and you continuously rigorous training with them, or rigorous practice with them. And more than likely, the 4 will be coming out of whoever those 8 are at the end of the day when trials don't run and everything. So that's my take on it. Okay. And this is and we've been seeing it for years, Raj, where Jamaica has been taking the fact that we're so fast for granted, that we're not having practice. And guess what? Now that the men are slow, now we're seeing that we actually do need practice. When they were fast, we could we could man shut our eye to the mistakes you saying about you see receiving the button because it didn't really matter. We could do all of those things, but guess what? Now that everybody is slow, all of these things stick out like a sore thumb. But what's the issue? What's the cause of all of this? The cause is they were never practicing in the first place. Now they need to start practicing. I don't think it's just the USA that has planned for it. Every other country has planned for it because they realize that relay is something that is innate to Jamaicans because we had run relay from we idea we need. So by the time we get to adulthood, then it just becomes plug and play and everybody's good. But guess what? All these countries that don't have the same experience have started to do. they started to have relay camps. It's not just the USA, every country, every other country does it. The only country that does not have a practice session, proper practice session for the relays is Jamaica. I wonder why. The US like to plan. Notice the faster person on the team is but Abby is not the fastest 100-meter runner there. Next year we have the world relays. We need to get the roll call from. No, we need to start do something. Then people that we don't need to call out. This is where this is the power we have as fans of the sport. We need to start calling out the federation, call out the people in charge, let them know that enough is enough. Start putting the right things in place for our athletes. Because at the end of the day, the athlete them look like them I get the cussing and another athlete them fault. We worked. Oh, have mercy. I was so sad though. Oh my gosh. I'm about to do a donation. Hey, what you say? Hey, if anybody wants to give a donation, no problem. Click the link in the on our homepage there for the cash app, and you can always give us a donation if you want to. We'll be happily taking it. um we are watching the coverage on the analysis on TV, and they're saying yeah, that's where so the changeover between Elaine and Kemba is where the race was lost. Obviously, because if you check, especially at the times, Shelly made up on Prandini and Sharika killed on the anchor leg. The first leg beat Kemba for the United States, but you know how first legs go. But the thing about it is that the changeover and everything else slowed us down rapidly, and that's pretty much where the gold was lost. Because if you look at the distance between where Sharika finished versus where TT finished, if that error didn't happen, the gold would have been in the bag. But it is what it is. But them take it back. Both said they train. Maybe this was before. You see, you see how life is funny. When we are nobodies, we train, right? But when we are somebody, we not train, which is interesting because I'm assuming that you're saying this is the 2008 world record that he said they trained for, right? Maybe, possibly, but in the years that followed that, they didn't really do anything. So I don't know. Stop your foolishness, T. A humble calf comment that but never put medals out there. A reality a setting. Oh, have mercy. Reality don't set in long time. Long time it's set in. France has a relay team that practice look at all of them practice all year round. If you ever hear what the Chinese and the Japanese them do, them practice all year round. A Jamaica alone not do nothing. We don't leave Kemba alone and she line up the race, satisfied with the silver. Yeah, I don't think it had anything to do with I just think it just a something it just went wrong and it had nothing to do with Kemba per se or Elaine per se. I just think one, team structure was wrong, and two, them not they not get no practice. The practice are my problem. That's my biggest problem. The people them now make the people them get no practice. That is my problem. But alas, it's already spilled milk and it done. Guys, I'll be logging off this at I guess in 12 minutes maybe. So if there's anything else that y'all want to say or you want us to discuss, let me know and we can talk about it. If not, then we're definitely going to be logging off at 11. Let me see here. Without the If Elaine didn't run away without the button, then all would be good. All right, listen, Missy. This is my thing about it. Last year Elaine apparently also ran away from Brianna. Plus, I think it was Gary. I think reminded me of a race. In a 200-meter 4x1 where Elaine also left the person. I don't think it's Elaine leaving the person, but I think because they're not getting any practice, they're underestimating how fast Elaine is actually going out, and because of that, once she's literally steps off, she's gone. But the incoming runner is not only much slower than she is, but they're also slowing down. So when you take that comparison between Elaine going off like a beast versus a person that's much slower than her slowing down, then it looks like she left the person. So I don't think she left the button. I'm thinking that the markers are wrong and everything is just the whole setup is wrong, and that's why that happens. But this is obviously not something that's confirmed. This is just me saying based on my eye test what I'm thinking that's happening. But at the end of the day, I believe all of this can be fixed with practice. Save that, I also do think that they set up the relay team wrong, but that's just my take. Would you tell us you can't left? Me I come my bed on the lucky and I think me I stay up all night. You don't know how long my days are, and I again, trust me, you know the love for check and feel when you just get off the road and all you can do is flip your laptop open and create a live stream and then jump on live save time. It's crazy. But yeah, my love is definitely strong for the sport, and I don't see it stopping anytime soon. I'm not cursing our athletes, but we need to know who is making the decisions for our athletes. I mean, whoever is the head coach, whoever is the relay coach, I don't know who these people are. I know Maurice. Maurice is one of the athletes there. I know he's the head coach, but does head coach mean he's also the relay coach? I remember last year, Shelly's coach, I think, was the relay coach at the Olympics. I don't know if it's the same thing this year. I really don't know how they decide who does what. But I mean, I don't think, save obviously deciding who runs where on the day and stuff like that, I think it's too late to be trying to fix issues when we're already in the middle of a championship. These things need to be fixed before. And the only thing that's left is okay, our athlete is healthy, you're good to go. That kind of thing. I don't think we should be waiting until we're in a championship to figure out, say, oh, this is somebody can't take button or receive or argue button, or you get what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't think that this is the time to do it. No, yeah, we definitely give God thanks, of course. We're very, very thankful for the silver medal. It could have been worse. I did point out that Great Britain, a team that usually finishes third, and by third, I mean generally because they did finish second in 2017. Yeah, I think they finished second in 2017 because Jamaica finished third. But generally, they're always on the medal table, and they didn't medal. So we're very, very lucky because all hell could have broke loose, and we're not getting a medal. So we're definitely happy that we medaled, of course. But we also are mindful of our girls' caliber. We will not expect great things from people if they're not great. These athletes are great, and that is why we expect great things. Nothing is wrong to expect great things from great people. Yes, I was told that by Raj that Elaine's change off was the fastest. Um, so T, you're right. What configuration? Yeah, I just don't believe it was. I just don't believe it was set up right. I mean, if you joined the live from the beginning, you'd have heard me saying what I believe should have been the setup and the reason why I thought that should have been the setup. Exactly. Leave Elaine alone. She did nothing wrong. The first person was much slower. On to the next. Still congrats to them. Listen, if you know anything about TXT Track Time on our channel, we love Elaine around here. Um, So we're definitely not gonna knock her. Of course, we're not gonna appreciate anybody that comes in here just trying to be negative, just to be negative. And we have some Jamaicans like that, because I was really hearing some bad things when, especially when she didn't medal in the 200, and I'm like, what is wrong with y'all? Like, come on, if Elaine won everything, then where would Sherika figure and where would Shelly figure? So if Elaine did win the 100, Shelly wouldn't did win the 100, right? If she did win the 200, Sherika wouldn't did win. Come on now. Like, we need to be thankful for whatever we get and just stop trying to find every reason to kick Elaine. As Shelly said, they do not have much relay training. No, they don't have any, and it's disappointing. And I'm annoyed. And you know what? It's because we take it for granted. We take it for granted that these athletes come up to the CHAM system or the primary school CHAM system, so they're used to dealing with the baton. But we need to put certain things in place and make it standardized. Not, oh, we're gonna do it this year and then next year we forgot because it looked like it fixed. No, it becomes a standard where 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, when little, I don't know, an athlete that we don't know their name of yet grows up and makes it into the senior team, they know that when they make it there, the relay team has this camp that we have to go to, right? So I believe that they need to start setting standards for certain things and make it become ingrained in our athletes, where they're like, okay, we're gonna really practice every Friday. We have really a practice for 1 hour with, something, I don't know, something if it happen. All right. If you were following the live from the beginning, you'd have heard why I believe it's not an issue with Elaine, because it's not something I saw only last year, and it's not something that has happened only last year. And I just think it's the structure, full stop. But if you want to blame Elaine, apparently it seems you do. So it is what it is. I can't change. I'm not going to try to change your mind, but I don't think it's an Elaine issue. I think it's, as one, it's a setup issue, two, practice issue, everything else under the sun. But yeah. Um, cause them, yeah, that's true. Elaine started to. All right, Chris. Unless you saw the markers on the track, you can't tell me that Elaine started too soon, and nobody can tell me Elaine started too soon unless I see the footage of them zooming into where Elaine's marker is and where Kemba hit the marker and where Elaine was already well gone when Kemba hit that marker. Until then, you can't say that. Yeah, everybody's gonna have their turn, and I just find it that we're so weird sometimes. Like, it's like you don't even realize that if you expect one person to win, then the others won't get their turn. Um, them would have all also cause Shirley and Sherika same win. No, them can't please. Them can't please. But I really do believe that they come down harder on Elaine, because Elaine had those couple blank years. So they have this whole syndrome thing with Elaine, and it is what it is. And and the biggest part is her personality. She's not as effervescent as a Shelley. I mean, she's an individual. She's her own individual. Like, what do you expect to be the common carbon copy of another individual? That's the weirdest thing I've ever heard, and that will never happen. So you have to accept people for who they are, whether they're outgoing and bubbly and jovial versus people that are more withheld or more reserved. I am somebody. Best believe it. Even though you hear me, see me emoting this much, when I'm in my own personal life, I am withheld and reserved to myself. I'm not out there outgoing. I'm not that type of person. So I can definitely understand that people are different, and people need to accept that. This is a disaster. The girls underperform, and the changes must be made. In particular, get more practice. Yeah, they definitely need to get more practice. The race was lost on the baton change. Jamaica 6.36 USA. So yeah, it was definitely lost on the baton change. But no, it's not just the baton change, because the baton change just talks about the baton change. It doesn't take into consideration who slowed down you know, like say for instance, the big slowdown that Elaine had to slow down before the baton actually reached her. Or maybe I'm not analyzing the whole baton change thing properly, but I think it was more than that. I don't think because this difference would mean that USA is almost as fast as us individually. Oh no, I don't think so. The front of people are looking to blame Elaine because she dropped that. All right. Um. With that said, I think this is the last comment of the night. I am so appreciative of all of you coming to join me. It was very impromptu. Me getting on live, but you guys still came up, you showed up, and we enjoyed track and feel together. A lot of disappointment on the Jamaican side, and by a lot I mean one disappointment with the female 4x1. But we're still grateful and we're still happy overall that we got a medal because we didn't have to, and these girls are going out and always doing their best. And remember, nobody is trying to sabotage the team. These girls want to win. So you best believe that within themselves, they are disappointed that they didn't win. They may say to us that, oh, they got a medal, they're happy, but you know that they're disappointed because that gold was theirs and it left them. So, I mean, we don't need to knock them any further than they are, but I do believe that we need to hold our administration accountable for them to start, taking certain steps. We are a world power in track and field, and we also need to start making world power moves. We need to start putting in certain things in place that only the big country them a do because we big too. So when if you do them thing here too, you understand? And we need to start move like we're like a pala pala in this thing. We're not a pala pala in this. We're not playing games. We're coming here to dominate, to win all the medals we can, and hopefully top the medal table. We're not here just to show up and make up numbers. We're not in a them the stage there. So I believe that our administration needs to step up and do our athletes right. The American men are joining up to soon. Okay. All right, guys, it's 11:01 and I did say I was leaving. So once again, thank you so very much for joining. Remember to hit that like button. Remember to subscribe. Hopefully, we'll be able to get the channel back up in a few days. If not, me don't know what we do again. I'm just gonna delete. Listen, if after appealing, reapplying again, and then still no go with channel back, me I delete every single thing after the channel. That alone left for do. So I hope that I don't have to resort to something like that. But let's see. But thank you again. Lots of chat coming up. We have the Commonwealth Games. We have the World Juniors. Lots of things to discuss. Lots of things to talk about. So this is not your last time seeing me on live for this year, obviously. Individual videos to come. I don't want to drop an individual video until we get our channel back up because it's like it's not being recommended, so nobody's really seeing it. So I don't really want to do a deep dive into anything and nobody sees us deep dive in it, if you get what I'm saying. So let's see how that goes in a few days. But until then, I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is the last day. Jamaica now has 7 medals. And listen, this is all from women. Just imagine if the men had matched that with us. We'll be sitting on 14 medals. But again, we're happy that we're on 7. We have opportunities to get 2 more. Let's see how that goes. Until then, I'm your girl T, and this is TXT Track Time. I'm out. Let's see if I can end this on time.